6 billion years and dominates all life on Earth.
The sun is 93 million miles away, and that means, in actuality, it's immense. You could fit 1 million Earths inside the sun.
It's nearly 1 million miles in diameter, yet our sun is tiny compared to the really big stars out there. Eta Carinae, over 5 million times larger than our sun. Betelgeuse, 300 times larger than Eta Carinae. If it was our sun, it would reach as far out as Jupiter. And then there's this monster, VY Canis Majoris, the largest star ever discovered. 1 billion times bigger than our sun.
So this is the thing. This is why we have to study, so that we can be able to refute these people when they bring up this foolishness. The sun is God. Man is God. Okay? The thing is that, hopefully, something they'll have an experience in life where they'll understand that Allah is the God, and bring them to righteousness. But we know that this message isn't for everybody, and Allah tells us no matter what we show them, no matter what we tell them, they won't come to the path. So, we can't fret over that. All right, I guess we'll wrap it up here. I still didn't get to my Trump stuff, but inshallah, we can do it the next time we come together. We'll end with Surah Al-Ikhlas.
Why are you closing out so soon?
Say again?
Why are you closing out so soon? It's not even 9 o'clock.
Oh, because I thought we started earlier, so I didn't, I want to hold y'all hostage.
You ain't holding us hostage. You can continue.
We can go on a little further, all right?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to some Trump stuff.
I'm going to let him. I'm going to do some Trump. Oh, you're going to do Trump. I can't stand. You don't need to wait until you come back again. Well, you already knew he had it.
Here we go.
Said it earlier. Yeah. You did? Let them go. People leaving. Don't go yet. This is about Trump.
There are certain issues that...
No, it's something important to know.
Now, talking about Trump. I want you to hear this, because this is very important, all right? This is what Newt Gingrich said before the election.
What is he trying to accomplish?
Well, let me say, first of all, I was a little surprised, just because I was with Mitt in Las Vegas when Donald Trump endorsed him, and I remember how effusively Mitt thanked Donald and praised him and talked about him as a great job creator. So it's a little bit over the top today, but I think Mitt represents personally the panic of the establishment wing of the party. And I think they all held their breath through Super Tuesday. It didn't work. And now they're faced with a very real prospect of Donald Trump becoming the leader of the party, and it absolutely drives them crazy. They just cannot imagine sharing. Well, because he's an outsider. He's not them. He's not part of the club. He's uncontrollable. He hasn't been through the initiation rites. He didn't belong to the secret society. And I think they don't see him. They have no idea how to relate to him.
That's the skit. What was the skull and bones?
Right.
Did he mean to say that?
I kind of don't. I think he's brought something. But that's what they say that's what Gingrich said, all right? But now,
from the lunch.
Ramon said she came up to school during the day today because her daughter told her a teacher was condemning her for shooting that video.
Because she shared the video, she should be suspended, expelled, or somehow penalized for standing up for something that she believes in.
School officials have not condoned that type of action by a teacher. In fact, the superintendent sent home a letter, and the principal did a video for the middle school students, urging parents and students to learn from this and have a dialogue with their kids. Here's a clip of the video for the students.
Our challenge this morning and beyond is to honestly reflect and commit to being better. Let's learn from our worst and grow to be our best.
While some parents did pull their kids from school today because of fears of violence, others thought the school was handling the situation well.
The superintendent's note was really great, and I felt really calm about it. And then when you arrive and it's again here, it's just upsetting.
Rebecca Cherry is the mother of a 7th grader.
I see the reporters here, and I just felt...
See, the thing is, the Trump presidency is going to cause racial division, all right? And it also, racial division, religious division, and also economic problems, all right? Because he's turning off these other countries. And you remember the economy is interconnected, okay? So some of these countries might get together and say, hey, we might need to do something, okay? But now, this is what they're saying now in terms of...
India. There's 5 countries coming together to create a major bank.
Go ahead, brother.
Also, you know, I don't know if anyone has heard, but London is contemplating a ban on doping.
Yeah.
They're contemplating a ban. And I think that there are other countries that are looking at the same possibilities. If you look at the economy and trade and things of this nature that they're doing with all these other countries, I think he's trying to, or is causing somewhat of a rift. But what comes to mind, though, is NAFTA and how that plays a part. I mean, NAFTA has always been like a thorn in the side of, especially the African American community.
Right.
The North American Free Trade Agreement, which took a lot of jobs during the Clinton administration, and they implemented NAFTA and took all of the jobs out of the country overseas.
Right.
Funny though, that after that they came up with welfare reform, and there were no jobs to be had.
Right, but see, that's even going to get worse because of the fact that you have, them coming in with a lot of automated stuff, with the robots, Like when the people were protesting the minimum wage and stuff like that, a lot of these business owners said, okay, all right, we'll fix y'all. We'll go out and get some robots. Make these hamburgers and stuff. We're making an automated system. Okay? So, it's deep.
If people stick together, they'll have to have robots to eat those hamburgers too.
Right.
That's right.
Right, but see, the thing is that
you walk up there like fools buying from robots.
Yeah, but they've kind of. My mother said something that was very interesting. She said that they took home economics out of school because they wanted people to be hooked on the fast foods. Because if you don't know how to cook, then you're going right over to that place. Okay? So it's a game all the way around, and that's why I say it's very important for us to understand the system. People keep talking about, we got to do this, we got to do that. The first thing we got to do is understand this system. So, and understand how we can, counteract what's going on. Because these people, they're playing chess and we playing checkers. Or we not even on the board.
Exactly.
Right.
What city? I forgot what city that was in. I forgot what city that was in.
Reports of hate crimes and racist graffiti have surged since Trump's shocking presidential win. Many have been coming from many schools, going from universities to elementary schools. Someone wrote on a toilet paper dispenser at Maple Grove Senior High School, #Go Back to Africa and Make America Great Again. The bathroom door was also covered with graffiti, including Whites Only, White America, and Trump. A San Diego State University student walking to her car was confronted by two men who made comments about Trump and Muslims. This only a few reports out of the many, only a day after Trump's win.
So, I mean, so far they've had threats against 3 mosques in California, you know. So, a lot of his rhetoric has resonated with these racist people. It was funny, they had on Saturday Night Live, the guy, Aziz Ansari, he's a comedian, but he did a little skit. I mean, well, he did a monologue, but it was funny. You got to check it out, what he said about the racists that were in hiding, and now they're out. Now.
Everybody, don't forget to get some birthday hits from Amir. Wake them up. Get some birthday hits.
Birthday hits.
January, another January. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the United States has seen a dramatic rise in the number of hate crimes following the victory of Donald Trump in the country's presidential election. Representatives for 2 organizations that track hate crimes in the U.S. say the surge in the hate crimes is worse than what took place immediately after the 9/11 terror attacks back in 2001. The Southern Poverty Law Center has registered a spike in vandalism, threats, and intimidation, which it blames on the campaign rhetoric of President-elect Donald Trump. The organization has logged more than 200 complaints since the election. Anti-Black and anti-immigrant hate crimes are generating the highest numbers, followed by anti-Muslim incidents. The Council on American Islamic Relations also says it has seen an increase in complaints made to its offices. Trump has been strongly criticized for using extreme rhetoric against Muslims and immigrants during the presidential campaign. Let's cross over to Toronto, Canada, joined by Mr.
But now I want you to see kind of what the rhetoric is that's going around.
That's not Al Jazeera.
No, that was Al Jazeera. That was another. Yeah, that was another news group.
Hi, my name's Zach.
Now, so you got to start listening to the language and the stuff that they're saying now. All right. So this is Newt Gingrich. All right.
There you go.
Western civilization is in a war. We should, frankly, test every person from here who is of a Muslim background, and if they believe in Sharia, they should be deported.
Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich made those comments to Fox News following the terror attack Thursday in Nice, France, that killed at least 84 people. Speaking to Fox News, Gingrich also said he believes anyone who visits websites that support ISIS or other terrorist groups should go to jail. Donald Trump also went on Fox News and linked the attack to refugees.
They may be ISIS. This could be the great Trojan horse of all time.
Gingrich was once thought to be a top contender for Trump's running mate, but several sources say Trump will tap Indiana Governor Mike Pence. Pence said calls to ban Muslims are offensive and unconstitutional, shortly after Trump proposed barring Muslims from entering the country in December. Pence hasn't commented on Trump's calls for deportation following the most recent attack. As for the Democrats, Hillary Clinton criticized American allies in Europe, saying they weren't doing enough to combat terrorism. For Newsy, I'm Melissa Prax.
So they're talking about, possibly having Muslims have to register. Okay.
Is that all Muslims like us? Because I was at a rally where some of the people speaking said, once they do that, even they are going to register themselves as a Muslim.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard somebody said, "Walaikum salam."
Walaikum salam.
Christians and stuff. So
yeah, but see,
register themselves as Muslims.
Yeah, but see, the first the game is saying they're trying to say that it's for those people, the immigrants. Mm-hmm. But then it's like that saying goes: first they came for them, and then right. But now, let me see. So I want you to see this. This is. Now,
Donald Trump has targeted ethnic and religious groups. He has threatened to round up and deport 11 million undocumented immigrants, mostly Hispanic. He has vowed to ban from entering the country by dint of their faith all Muslims. Survivors of the American-Japanese internment camps of World War II are hearing similarities in the current rhetoric and the rhetoric which landed them behind barbed wire, an episode some believe has been all but forgotten within the narrative of American history. Referring to Trump, 80-year-old Madeline Sujimoto, who was 5 years old when she and her family were sent to an internment camp, said, "I think it's dangerous the way he spouts off, not knowing any history, making no connections with what he says should be done today is worrying and upsetting."
See, they're starting to have those types of conversations, you know. And I want you to hear George Takei. George Takei is the guy from Star Trek, right? But him and Pat Morita, the guy that played on Karate Kid, both of them, when they were younger, were put in concentration camps. See, so they know the narrative. They know how things happen, all right? But check this out. This is...
Donald Trump hasn't mentioned his idea for a national registry of Muslims recently, but here's what he said about it last year when he was running for the Republican presidential nomination.
We have a database system that tracks the Muslims here in this country.
There should be a lot of systems beyond database, so we should have a lot of systems. And today you can do it. But right now we have to have a border, we have to have strength, we have to have a wall, and we cannot let what's happening to this country happen.
But is it that your White House would like to implement?
Oh, I would certainly implement that. Absolutely.
Now, a Trump supporter and a co-chair of a super PAC that supported Donald Trump says that Japanese-American internment in this country during World War II is a legal precedent for the government maintaining a Muslim registry.
We've done it with Iran back a while ago. We did it during World War II with Japanese, which, you know, call it what you will, maybe wrong.
You're not proposing we go back to the days of internment camps, I hope.
No, I'm not proposing that at all, Megan. But what I am saying is that
you know better than to suggest that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that gets people scared, Carl.
Right, but it's...
And see, all you need is another false flag attack. And they could, you know, justify doing anything, okay?
Precedent for it, and I'm not saying I agree with it, but in this case, I absolutely believe that
you can't be citing Japanese internment camps as precedent for anything the president-elect is going to do.
Look, the president needs to protect America first, and if that means having people that are not protected under our Constitution have some sort of registry so we can understand, until we can identify the true threat and where it's coming from, I support it.
Joining us now, George Takei. He's an actor, director, and human rights activist. He and his family were held in Japanese-American internment camps. George, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We wanted to hear your reaction to this as soon as this happened.
It was shocking, but it was not unexpected from a Trump surrogate. Mr. Higbee used the imprisonment of innocent Japanese Americans as a precedent. Yes, it happened, but it is not a precedent. It is the most disgraceful chapter of American history. This is a country that believes in order, law. It's a nation of law. We believe in due process. And all that disappeared. As a matter of fact, in 1988, President Ronald Reagan had to apologize for the imprisonment of innocent Japanese Americans during the Second World War. We were totally innocent, and yet we were imprisoned because of race bigotry, war hysteria, and the failure of political leadership. That is what happened, that made this happen. And here again, they're talking about the political leadership that's about to be is talking about the very same thing and using us as a precedent. It was a disgrace and a shameful chapter of American history.
Let's listen to some more of Donald Trump's specifics about how he would register Muslims in this country.
For Muslims specifically, how do you actually get them registered into a database?
It would be just good management. What you have to do is good management procedures, and we can do that. It's nice.
I mean, do you go to mosques and sign these people up into the system?
Different places. You sign them up at different, but it's all about management. Our country has no management.
George, obviously he has no idea what he's talking about. You sign them up at different places. He wasn't asked how he would be able to tell what someone's religion is.
Yes, he's going to go by a faith of a people and register them. Registration of any group of people, and certainly registration of Muslims, is a prelude to internment. This is something that we cannot have happen again. It is dangerous, and it is a moral bankruptcy. We've got to stand up and resist this. And I urge all good Americans to write to your congressional representatives and the president-elect and tell them that this is not what we stand for as a nation. We go by the rule of law, and a registry is this simple categorization of.
But see, the Japanese did register then when we did the census. Everybody's registering when you do the census. You're telling them where you're at, what you are. Okay, and that's why a lot of people don't even like to do the census. But now, how many of you ever heard of Rex 84? Never heard of Rex 84? All right, I want you to see this. Now, I guess this will be the last piece. Now, this is Rex 84. Rex 84 stands for Readiness Exercise 84. All right.
The martial law portions of Rex 84 were outlined in a 1982 memo written by FEMA Deputy John Brinkerhoff. Martial law was to be declared in the event of a national crisis, yet the plan did not define the term national crisis. The plan allowed FEMA to take control of both federal and state governments, appointing military commanders to replace duly elected officials. The plan also called for the rounding up of at least 21 million American Negroes.
So
Jesse Ventura, he talked about that.
Yeah, they were going to round us up in the 60s and put us in concentration camps and internment camps.
And that's why I said, with what happened in New Orleans, the people, that's where they sent most of the people, and we don't even realize that's what happened.
Yeah.
We just think they're in other different states.
Yeah. But see, they've been practicing. They've been practicing drills for the longest now, all over the country, and people don't realize it. You know.
Numerous military bases converted into prison centers, also known as FEMA relocation camps. Why? Because at that time, African Americans were classified as one of the largest threats to the continuity of the federal government. Who does the federal government consider the biggest threat these days?
Folks, we've got a very serious situation here. I'm holding what is called the right-wing extremism, current economic and political climate, fueling resurgence and radicalization and recruitment. And in it, we talked about the fact that they define pro-lifers as domestic terrorists. They put this in a Department of Homeland Security document, this official assessment, now saying pro-lifers, people that believe in end-time prophecies, people that are opposed to the administration's position on immigration, those of us that are standing up for the sanctity of life and for the sanctity of marriage, all of those are now potential, and this is what they're saying, domestic terrorists.
It's a terrorist next door that could be our bigger threat.
They call people who believe in the sanctity of life, who believe in owning firearms, who believe in serving their country in the military and coming back, who are very concerned about the policies that this nation is embarking on, spending too much money, taxing too much. It's all listed right here. These are the domestic right-wing extremists.
1 million names under the watchful eye of the United States. America's so-called terrorist watch list has hit the record number, according to one of the country's most prominent civil liberties groups.
That's a lot of people to keep track of. They're adding new people all the time.
It's a secret list that you don't know really quite how one gets on, and you don't know how you get off.
It says in 1987, a far more complete account of plans drawn up under the Reagan administration appeared in the Miami Herald. The story reported that Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, then embroiled in the Iran-Contra scandal, had prepared a plan to suspend the Constitution in the event of a crisis, including widespread internal dissent or national opposition to the U.S. military invasion abroad. So all these plans...
And it's funny because when you go back to that congressional hearing, there's a recorded clip of them talking, and the guy's asking them about it. And the senior members wouldn't allow him to say anything. And they said, if you want to talk about this later, you know, we can, but not now, not in this public forum. But now, and this just to show that you can see how some of the drills that they're practicing for now is for, you know, this very thing.
Some of the video for you right now, and we've been showing some of it as well while I've been talking here, where, again, interspersed with the firefighters and other legitimate things, it shows the military rounding people up, and every one of them is black. Now, that's newsworthy right there. I've been to these drills where they all are farmers wearing John Deere caps and stuff, saying, you know, you can't take my land, you can't take my guns. Very scary stuff. But it was a black farmer, white farmer, Hispanic farmer. Little extra black folks. I mean, obviously saying, oh, it's for Al-Qaeda, that's a bad group, but it's really for all Americans. Oh, well, blacks, you know, they're kind of looked down on quietly by some people. Oh, look, it's for blacks, so it's okay. And it's military and white guys, white civilians looking on as groups of blacks dump over cars and, you know, get rounded up and thrown behind barbed wire. I mean, this is pretty outrageous. But don't expect Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton, the race baiters, to say anything. They're just there to create more racial division in this country, not actually point out that there's preparation to target black communities. Not actually point out that there's preparation to target black communities. Not actually point out that there's preparation to target black communities, which are under gun control like Chicago and has the highest crime rate in the world, which are under the fake drug war that's bringing down Chicago just like Mexico's collapsing. It's the policies that are causing this cultural collapse. But here's some of the promotional video hiding in plain view.
And these are drills that they're running.
It's not meant to depress you, it's meant to make you aware. It's not meant to make you walk out of here feeling like there's no hope. It's meant to make you walk out of here saying, I gotta get busy in informing my our brothers and sisters what's really going on, so that we can prepare ourselves for what is coming. The information that I'm going to share with you, personally, I have researched it along with many of my colleagues, and we found a lot of this information in the United States Library of Congress. A lot of this information has finally been declassified after being held away from the masses or kept back from the masses after many years. Because of the satanic